An important opportunity, my gorgeous Gemini, is about to knock on your door right at the beginning of this week. This opportunity that it's about to literally knock on your door is going to change everything. This opportunity is really going to surprise you, purely the way it's going to happen, but especially through who it's actually going to happen. So somebody rather specific in your life, somebody who you think about quite highly, and somebody who kind of mean to you quite a lot. Actually, it's going to be connected to you realizing this mind-blowing, life-changing opportunity, which is going to come from and through somebody in your life who is gonna say this to you, who is going to mention this to you. And at that moment in time, you are going to feel an instant connection with what that person is actually going to tell you. And this opportunity is like, to start with, you're going to feel an instant connection purely because there were few things that were on your mind lately that you are going to be able to connect to that particular opportunity. There were few things that were already on your mind, and you will know that this particular opportunity, which is going to be mentioned by somebody in your life, is pretty much so gonna contain these few different things that you already had on your mind. So this is why you're gonna feel so excited, and it's also gonna come from someone and through someone, you know, who you really like and who you really kind of connect to on so many different levels indeed. So this is only going to enhance and multiply your feelings and emotions when it comes to that particular opportunity. You know, my gorgeous Gemini, that this particular opportunity is indeed going to be the beginning of something really special. On one hand, you are gonna learn so much about yourself, because at the same time, if that opportunity and that realization and that news, if that came from somebody else, you would never go for it. But because it came from someone, it was highlighted by someone who is so special and so prominent in your life, this is gonna just change every single perspective, you know, that you will have about it. And as the time goes by, in as little as 18 days, my gorgeous Gemini, in as little as 18 days, you will see that you're going to become aware of these events that are going to require immediate action from you. And otherwise, you would never ever become aware of these important events in your life. And that particular person also, and you know, these events are going to be connected to that opportunity, of course, to that opportunity that you're going to become aware of course. But also, when it comes to this particular person who this is going to come from, there's also something really interesting that they are going to tell you. Some kind of advice, some kind of strange and unusual advice that you're not going to be able to get and understand at that moment in time. But later on, you will pretty much so understand exactly what that person was trying to say to you. And the reason why you're going to feel so comfortable and so happy that that particular realization is coming from someone really special, it's only because you know that person has got like a quite infectious energy when it comes to you, and you know that this is someone who is really wise, who you're constantly learning from. So this is why all this is going to seem so much better and so much more exciting indeed. And also at the beginning of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, what else I was going to say to you, that you are going to have this, you know, you're going to be, not that you are going to have this dream, but you're going to be reminded of this dream that you had, that you actually forgot about. And maybe this dream is going to be like, you know, maybe this dream is going to be like, maybe it was like a lucid dreaming, maybe it was like a bit of an astral projection going on. But whatever it happened when you had that dream, and that that was a while back. You forgot about that dream. And that dream was pretty much so about you having a very much so a dark tower in your life. Dark tower that shook you up. Dark tower that brought chaos into your life, and so much negativity, so much sadness, so much anxiety, stress, and fear. The dark tower. This is what you're gonna remember. Just suddenly, out of the blue, my gorgeous Gemini, you're gonna remember this dream that you had. You're gonna be reminded of this, and you couldn't understand that dream back then. Maybe even completely forgot about that dream, but you will be reminded of that dream. And what is the point of this? There is a very special reason why you're gonna be reminded of that dream, because that dream is gonna warn you about not doing something. That dream is gonna warn you exactly what you must not do at this stage of your life in order to actually avoid that tower happening in real time, baby, in your reality. So you're gonna go like well into this like a psychic and a, like very powerful and spiritual mode, like a highly intuitive in so many different ways indeed. So this dream, it's actually not just any dream, but it's bringing you a very, very powerful revelation. What exactly do you need to avoid at this stage in your life in order to kind of prevent this particular situation from happening in a real time? You see, like, oh my God, it doesn't really surprise me, my gorgeous Gemini, because you are very much so highly intuitive, and I'm keep on saying this, and there are a couple of you within, indeed, and both of you are just as powerful. So you've got a double whammy also when it comes to your own spirituality as well, my gorgeous Gemini, indeed. And also, what else I was going to say to you at the beginning of this week, you are really going to be thinking a lot about, you're going to be able to specify what is causing like the lack of inner joy, because something is going to happen again to you at the beginning of this week, and you're not going to like it, but this is only going to remind you like what is causing a lack of inner joy. Trust me, you will know, because this is something that brought like a dissatisfaction in your life, because it just affected your inner happiness. And this is pretty much so to do with something that happened like a long time ago that you regret about, something that you were so disappointed about, and something that happened like a while back, a long time ago, that you are blaming yourself so much for at this moment in time, especially when it comes to like you following a cold and bad advice. And you must move on from this. You need to understand that this is so important, because it's not only about you realizing this, what's causing a lack of an inner joy, what's creating your inner happiness. You really need to release that huge amount of negative energy, because it's to do with the regret, it's to do with like disappointment, it's to do with so much pessimism being brought into your life because of that, because you blame yourself because you blame yourself because you were following this cold bad advice, and you only followed it because at the time you were going through something very emotional and very difficult, and you could not see things clearly. Bless your heart. So now you're gonna realize this, because it's not only about realize this, but it's more about coming to the bottom of things at the same time. Suddenly you're gonna find the extraordinary in the ordinary, my gorgeous Gemini, and that means that the power of you seeing in between the lines, it's going to be absolutely super enhanced, which on another hand means that you are at the same time going to diffuse huge amount of negativity just by kind of being able to recognizing where this is coming from, but also at the same time this is about to restore harmony in your life in so many different ways. And this harmony is important. Why is this harmony important? Because this harmony can also sometimes work against you if it's not flowing freely. So what you're doing right now, you're working on things, on the negative aspects of yourself, and you're releasing this huge amount of negative energy that is going to increase the important harmony in your life, which is going to help you to connect, to focus, and to be determined, and to be strong and passionate when you're facing very important stages in your life, when you're standing in front of something so big and so so important. You need this, your passion, in order to knock on your door. The way you knock on your door that are right in front of you, that are big, that are huge, that are amazing, is through your own passion. So if there is only a little doubt with something that you do, you work on, that means to you so much, then you're doubting yourself, you're doubting your spirit, you're doubting your soul. This is why you are coming out of something really, really bad here indeed. And you know, my gorgeous Gemini, what else I was going to say? This is brilliant. Another thing I was going to say, I like this. Very good news at the beginning of this week. It's just about a little recognition, but it's a good news. You're going to find this really victorious. So this is going to surprise you. Something that you're passionate about, something that you like to work with, something that you like to play with, something that you like, that you really enjoy in your life, you know? Something that you worked on. And so this good news, this good news is going to be like, oh my God, this is brilliant, you know, good news about something that you've been working on, and this is really kind of going to have such a big element of surprise, which is on another hand going to lead towards the victory. It's going to lead towards an important progress, but most importantly, it's all about the self-confidence, you know, and that self-confidence is also going to open your eyes and make you aware of like what's dominating your life, and you will want to move away from things that are dominating your life. You know, you're going to realize things that are controlling your life, you know, and that in itself, it's really going to kind of also become the moment in time where you are going to realize, you know what, this is a lot to do with an ultimate completion happening here, which means that, you know, it's to do with an important manifestation, the beginnings of also an important manifestation, which is like pretty much so going to result, like, you know, it's the result of a true will, but at the same time it's going to lead towards recognition, you know, it's going to lead towards like an important continuation, and it's also going to lead towards an important realization that something is also like kind of coming to an end. But you have to be honest with yourself. As soon as you're honest with yourself, you will be able to release yourself by moving on as well. And on another note, my gorgeous Gemini, you know, this is all going to lead towards you taking a very understanding that you're going to need to take a decisive action, you know, and that decisive action is like pretty much so going to restore order in your life, but it's at the same time going to really kind of like help you to get rid of those things in your life that are keeping you restrained, you know, and this is affecting your self-sufficiency, and it's affecting you preparing yourself, it's affecting you to kind of to adapt to things, you know. So this is why this is so important, of course. And also, my gorgeous Gemini, right at the beginning of this week, you know, you are going to feel a little bit agitated because of the lack of appreciation. Someone is not going to appreciate you, and you're not going to like this. But there is a very special reason why this person, there is a reason why this person is like this. You know, there is no, it's not like you've done something wrong. There is not like you've done something bad, but you need to understand this within. You need to understand this yourself. This is something that can come just from you, my gorgeous Gemini. So you're going to realize that maybe someone is not appreciating you as much. And that in itself, it's really kind of going to make you feel really indecisive when it comes to certain proceedings. And then you're going to realize, you know what, because that particular person is not appreciating you, you're going to realize, no baby, no, I'm not going to carry on with certain plans. So that in itself is clearly going to show you unwise plans. That would be mistake if you would actually go for. So there you go. Someone is going to show their real face by not appreciating you how you should be appreciated. But then at the same time, it's also be such a sacred moment in time for you, because you will know which plans are unwise, which plans to avoid, which plans to move away from, which plans to move on from, which plans, you know, would be like an amazing, like absolutely super mistake if you would actually go for. So there you go. That's how this is going to turn out for you to be. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, you know, it's like, ooh la la, baby. It's all about moving forward. You know, it's all about moving forward. And especially when you like kind of realize, you know what, you're gonna have to do this. Oh, this is so personal. This is so deep and personal. This is really personal, baby. You know what's gonna happen, yeah? It's about you realizing in order to move forward, you're not going to be able to move forward unless you come clean. All right, so you know you're going to realize I'm not going to be able to move forward unless I come clean. So you will realize in order to, I know I'm saying it again, in order to move forward, you're going to need to come clean, my gorgeous Gemini. And that in itself, it's like basically going to put you in a positive state of mind, and you are going to kind of rethink your approach, how you're going to do this. This is so important to do because there is something going to happen here, something that you would never ever ever see coming, something that you would never ever predict, something that you would never ever expect. And the whole thing is going to turn out to be completely different, where you are going to become so courageous, you are going to become so confident, you know, to become independent. This is going to bring focus, this is going to bring zest for life, this is going to bring determination, this is going to bring joy, and most importantly, absolutely mind-blowing recovery and a comeback, my gorgeous Gemini. Absolutely fantastic. And also, when it comes to the midweek, you know, there is somebody who is like a very much so an excellent communicator, somebody who speaks really well, somebody who's probably not me, not me definitely. No, so there's going to be an excellent, excellent communicator at around the midweek, my gorgeous Gemini, and you are going to be talking to this person, and you're going to be thinking, my God, they speak so well, they just express themselves in like such an interesting and unusual way. I really like it. But it's more about, you know, this person who is excellent communicator. This is somebody who's like actually really creative as well, and somebody who's like generally optimistic. That particular person is going to point out something to you, they're going to say something to you ever so important, or through that particular person you are going to realize something ever so important about yourself, especially when it comes to the certain discipline, especially when it comes to like what needs more training, what needs more consistency, what needs more practice in your life at this moment in time in order to become authentic, real and organic as well. This is ever so important, especially when it comes to you planning to make a really big change when it comes to your home. You're gonna feel like you've never felt before by really, I know I've seen this before, but now this is gonna bring a zest for this as well. When it comes to you really needing to have a fresh start, wanting to have a fresh start, feeling like you want to have a fresh start, but it's a lot to do with your home or immediate environment, whether you're gonna again think about making a huge move or you're gonna think about changing everything. You just need to go with that first flow, so you just get the most out of this spiritual sacred energy, and you can avoid unnecessary doubting. You can avoid unnecessary doubting, which is only going to lead towards you being indecisive. And once you find yourself in that no baby no, it's like no. So this is why you just need to go with the first initial feeling, with the first initial thought. Indeed, by the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, by the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Gemini, sorry, do you know what? Listen, someone is gonna like, oh God, the people are gonna play a big role in your life this week, which is nothing unusual. But at around the end of the week, someone is going to be like really bitchy with you. Sorry, darling. Someone is going to be like quite bitchy with you, you know. And then once that happened, this particular person is bitchy with you. That's exactly what you're going to think. Oh my God, you're so bitchy. And then at the same time, you're going to realize something. Oh my God, this is brilliant. Because there is something that you're going to realize through that person being bitchy. And by that person being bitchy, you're just going to have enough of something. And you're just going to say, you know what? I'm just going to have a one more go with something. That person being bitchy to you is going to motivate you to have a one more go at something, to try something one more time. And that in itself, you would normally find very, very challenging indeed. And you are gonna try something one more time, and now it's gonna be different. Now it's gonna be different, because what is gonna happen is you are gonna realize something like, oh my God, you're gonna realize what was making you feel so disconnected, and you don't want that. This life is too short, baby. Absolutely right. But you're also gonna realize what you need to reevaluate at this stage in your life, and that in itself is gonna lead towards you becoming so ambitious, so action orientated, so driven to succeed. That in itself is even going to reflect on your mind, like in a sense of like a fast thinking, you know. And this is ever so important, because it's all going to lead towards you kind of like understanding where exactly do you need to put more energy towards. You know, it's a more, you will understand where exactly do you need to put more energy towards. It's to do with a specific goal, but it's like on one hand putting more energy towards it, and then on another hand understanding that you have to continue with certain effort until you become really successful. And that in itself, it's also going to show you clearly there are going to be so many synchronicities that are going to be guiding you, that you are doing something which is going to be highly successful, which is going to change your life, my gorgeous Gemini, forever. So please do pay attention to synchronicities that you are going to have at around that time, because they're all going to be leading you towards you very much so bringing something very special into your life. You know, when you have an idea, there is going to be synchronicity there, like in 1 minute, like literally, which is gonna like confirm to you that this is in itself bringing bright prospects into your life that you should need to kind of plunge in as soon as you possibly can. Okay, my gorgeous Gemini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.